Well, today we're going to talk about using your hobbies very specifically with some great examples to augment your retirement income and have a little fun while you do it because it is your hobby. It's your little expertise that, as when I taught in graduate school and I said, I'm not much older than my students, and my professor, he said, you've read one more book than they have. So, with the one more book than they have way of thinking of things, your hobbies are something you can monetize and help others learn and enjoy what you like to do. My personal hobbies, I was thinking about that. What are my hobbies? Gosh, I wouldn't know, but kayaking. I just bought a couple of new kayaks. I have some upright paddle boards. And I bought a couple of kayaks yesterday to replace some that I had gotten rid of, and I'm so excited to use them. And it really made me think about hobbies, right? And I have friends who do gardening. Oh, I have such wonderful friends who do gardening. I'm a lazy gardener. It's springtime only for me. Crocheting, knitting, woodworking, cars. It doesn't really matter what your hobby is. There are other people who enjoy doing what you do. I have some friends who started a something for adults, not children. It's called History Camp. They made it into a nonprofit, but they're employed by their nonprofit. You can check them out online. But they bring people together, adults, around a topic, different topics, like over weekends, and they bring experts in and people pay them to do it. It's fun and they love it. And they've chosen to make it, instead of an LLC and a nonprofit, but heck, you could do it as an LLC, super easy, right? Anybody can share their knowledge of hobbies. But exactly where do you start with that? And what if your hobby is, you just don't feel like sharing it with adults is probably what you want to do? I was thinking about that also. There are many people who share what they do through summer student camps. And some of them do adult camps, but student camps also in the summertime. And I was looking into it. I actually ran a camp with a museum. Many museums do this, right? They have camps where they share the museum space with students. So I know a little bit about it. I created that camp out of whole cloth. It had never existed before. I partnered with our extension agents and made it a 4-H based day camp with our museum, which was an agricultural museum, so it was a good fit. And I think that really speaks to, if you're going to do some kind of sharing to make sure that you are creating income from your personal hobbies, let's make sure see if there are perhaps some opportunities to partner. In my case, with a nonprofit, partnering with Extension, which is a government association, was very, on target. But you can partner with a lot of different companies. Going back to my kayak, there are a couple of different companies in my town that sell kayaks. And I could maybe partner with one of those companies, couldn't I? And offer some kind of day camp for adults and teaching them if I wanted to start there. If you want to do something with children, there's always insurance, whether it's adults or children. You certainly need to look into your city, county, and state requirements. I did a quick Google search around camps and certifications in my state, and it was very clear. It was super easy to find. It was right there online. And if it's a children's camp, they had very specific guidelines. If it was adult camp, they had other very specific guidelines. So it's there. It's all there for you if you want to. I did a little financial analysis on it, and there is a gentleman that helps people do music day camps. They teach maybe a certain musical instrument, and he teaches them how to do day camps in the summertime to boost their income. He puts it at he can earn $3,000 to $5,000 a week on his day camps because he charges a little extra. They're a little more in depth. It's a great little website he has, but he talked about how he tried to make it so academic in the beginning and really a lot for your money, right? For the parents. And he found out the kids just wanted to have fun and the parents just wanted them to have fun. So he kind of lightened the load and gave the kids time to run around outside and do maybe musical, tactile activities outside just to have fun. So don't forget to have fun. So a camp or clinics, some people call them clinics, day clinics for adults, would be a really great way to do your monetizing your hobbies. We've talked in other videos about monetizing hobbies with Facebook classes, always doable. Again, you can do just have people Venmo or PayPal you, and then they get the special link to the private group off of Facebook. And if they paid, then they have that link and they can go in during the times. And you can record from there too and have them in that group for later viewing if you want to offer that to your students. You can monetize your hobbies on YouTube right here. I read something today where a business startup on average is $38,000 for a small startup business. But on YouTube, it's basically if you have your phone, it's free. And so you can monetize your hobby right here on YouTube. I've seen many hobbies monetized on YouTube. There are the guys and gals that work on cars. I love watching furniture refinishing. It's something that I did when I was much younger, so I really enjoy watching the videos. I don't want to do it anymore. There are people who obviously do many other crafting, and I particularly like to design things in Canva, so I watch Canva tutorials. But you could take those once you get used to doing that. Use YouTube as your your test facility, and then you can extrapolate from there. And you've gotten used to talking on camera, and you've gotten used to answering a few questions, and then you can take it over to the private Facebook groups and pick up clients just on your regular Facebook. You can do it with cooking. You can do it. You name the hobby, you can do it. Oh, I don't have a hobby, you say. Well, just like me, I was sitting there thinking, I don't have a hobby. And then I thought about, kayaking. I do have a hobby. I actually have always loved water sports and taught swimming for a while when I was a teenager. I couldn't teach now, but at least I could refresh my WSI if I did teach kayaking. I do know how to rescue people, and I could do that, right? That is an area that I have, and I hadn't even really thought about it, because how many times have you gotten where people say, what are your hobbies? And I always write books and reading. But okay, let's just say that's your only hobby, books and reading. Gosh, I watch videos on YouTube, and I probably would sign up for a group to go over, certain book genres. I know that you can do that at the library for free, but people like to get very in-depth on some things, and I'm sure there's paid versions of book clubs, because I've had a book club that folded over time. We were together for quite some time, and when it folded, I was very, very sad. So if I had one that I was paying on, I could join in person or online very easily. And they have a commitment to me, right? They're not going to fold on me and get bored with their own selves and life moving on and people moving out of town. You just pick up new book clubbers. You could monetize a book club, and I would imagine that some people have monetized book clubs. So I don't think there's a single thing out there you could not do this with. So my first suggestion is grab a YouTube channel and look at others and then start doing it yourself. Second, sit down with pen and paper and say, where am I comfortable? Am I comfortable doing music clinics for adults? Am I comfortable doing a day camp for children around music? Am I comfortable putting lessons in kayaking out there? Am I comfortable just doing lessons online? When I first got my paddle boards, I watched many videos and followed people on elementary paddleboarding because I didn't know what to do. I was a kayaker, not a paddleboarder. And so I knew that those people also do private lessons via the video. And they actually do group gatherings, like we're doing a guided paddleboarding or kayaking around a certain lake or down a river. I know quite a few people that go on the local river where I'm at, and there's a nonprofit that earns quite a good amount of money from giving guided tours, and then there's a for-profit company that does guided tours. And my husband and I make a point of every time we are in a new area on vacation, we've even done it in Europe, and signed up for a paid kayak excursion. So these are very common businesses, and there's always room for more. Where would you market that? I would market that on Facebook and do Facebook groups. Now remember, your age range on Facebook is about 45 or 50 and younger. And I'm that 45 to 50 and older. I'm that demographic. Your Instagram, which you can partner with, you don't even have to ask your Facebook business page to do a post. You can just click it, and everything you put on Facebook goes over to Instagram. And Instagram, they say, is 35 to 50. It was a little bit skewed, a little bit younger, but we're all aging, and the kids are going other places. So you could do a Facebook/Instagram account, and then maybe start a TikTok account, and people will come. Another thing to do, and I do this many times, and I don't know how long they'll have it over on Airbnb, but Airbnb experiences is a thing. So you can put your experience in Airbnb experiences, and people will sign up just like they sign up to stay the night, only they sign up to participate in your experience. I have experienced dinner at people's homes. I have experienced kayak trips. I have experienced horse riding trips. I have experienced, I have experienced cooking classes and food tours downtown in different countries. It has just been a joy, or just different towns in America. I've experienced a hot springs tour and massage event where we did the hot springs in Mexico, and then they took us down to the beaches and we had massages on the beaches, and then ate and just rolled ourselves home. So you are only limited by your imagination on what you do and what you could offer. Now here's some true down and dirty business advice from me to you, and I've owned several businesses. Chat with your insurance agent. What do you really need for insurance? Find somebody who does something similar. You may be a very unique person, and you have found something that you can't really find that other people are doing. That's okay. Find somebody like my friends that did the history camps, adult camps around a certain historical topic. That is so unique. you can find different companies that do something kind of similar, and then give them a call and tell them what you're up to. If you're feeling squeamish about that, make sure they're just not in your geographic area. People are willing to chat and to share that knowledge. Search it online, but start with your insurance agent, chat with them. You're going to want to do a small business plan, and here's my number one: make a company and create an LLC. Now, why would you do that? Well, accidents happen, things can happen, and an LLC does protect you. Every state is a little different. Check on your local laws. Talk to your accountant if you have an accountant. Go to the Small Business Administration. In general, that is free. Go to your economic development group. Do a little work on it. Figure it out. Figure out what you want to do legally. And here's another great reason for creating a separate legal entity. One day you may want to sell that business. You may not always be able to do a kayak trip. You may not always able to do a daycare, but or a day camp for children or a music camp for children. We're not eternal in our physical abilities. You are creating an asset that you will be able to sell if you do it right. Otherwise, you're just that person that people go to for swim lessons if you have a pool. Or you're that person that they just go to learn how to kayak and they just Venmo you the money. Set up a legal entity and follow up with your insurance. Create a small business plan and work with your local experts. You will in no time have a wonderful side income that will help you feel less afraid of the coming times, no matter what ups or downs happen.